Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Thursday, November 21st, 2024. Let's take a look at the charts. I'm going to start with this weekly chart just to show you what, a buy signal could look like on Friday's close. 242 handle settlement that would be, if closed there tomorrow, Friday, above the 240.751% threshold, which is above the 2-year channel top. So as you're well aware, if you've been following the series for the last few months or whatever, maybe the last couple of years, you'll know that if we have a long-term line study, 6-month or more, and this is a 2-year channel structure at 337.37, that the clarifying, reliable, if you will, or more technically reliable buy signal would occur if we can close above it by a full 1% margin at the end of a week. And that is the long-term play. So for the last few days, we've been trading, two-sided, both sides of it, really. In fact, I can show you the daily chart here, and you can see, we've been closing at or above it. Let me actually get back to, this is a repeat, really, of what I said yesterday, that while all week long we've got the 337.37 to 338.23 2-year channel tops, 338.23 is the same on the daily chart as we find on the weekly chart at 337.37. In terms of, directional indicator through the rest of the week, that would be a settlement today above 350 even, or a settlement today below 330.01. And I only have them as intraday levels because, truth be told, on the way up, if we were to test 350 even, I'm not crazy about selling it like as a solid day trade that I would assume would contain a daily high. It certainly may, but I want to stress, though, the importance of closing above 350 even. And I think that means bullish continuation into Friday. In other words, it means a settlement likely Friday at 340.75 or higher. So once again, if we do close today above 350.00, and if you're long Tesla and sort of on the edge because of it, or if you're short Tesla, because, there's another way of looking at this, that we are merely testing long-term resistance. We pushed through it significantly last week, fell back to close below it, certainly last week. We could do the same this week. There's certainly enough time for this market to fall back and close in the 320s or lower by tomorrow's close. And so this then would look like just merely puncturing through on an intra-week basis a long-term resistance area without following through. The follow-through would come with a settlement tomorrow, Friday, at 340.75 or higher, or you get an early lead on that if we settle today above 350.00. Then I think 366.79 would be likely tomorrow, Monday, something like that. Now, this could all happen in one day, but present volatility has been reducing just a bit over the last few days. So I really think it comes down to closing above 350 even, indicates 366.79 probably tomorrow. Closing above 350.00 also likely means closing above that long-term resistance by the full 1% margin. So in other words, closing today above 350.00 should yield 384.29 over the next week or two at the most. And then, of course, we close the week above 337.37 by the 1% margin. We have 414.49 as a realistic. This could be 3 to 5 weeks, could be 2 to 3 months, depending on volatility. Longer haul, 499.93 becomes our next big picture objective if we close the week tomorrow, Friday, at 340.75 or higher. And that is kind of the big picture upside, but it has not given us the green light fully just yet. Let's go back to the downside today, that while 350.00 remains our upward pivot point through the rest of the week and an early lead on a long-term buy signal, 330.01 is the downside, is the inverse of that. In other words, if we were to close today below 330.01, it is likely then that we will settle tomorrow once again below the 338.23 formation, or 337.37 on the weekly chart. And under that scenario of closing today below 330.01, I would expect 311.18 within a day or two, and I would continue to anticipate the 276.07 to 285.29 region as a 2 to 3 week target. So closing today below 330.01 is your likelihood that we will then close tomorrow Friday below the 337.37 weekly channel top, 338.23 in the weekly chart, which keeps shorts intact. In other words, if you are short now in anticipation of bearish continuation, bearish rotation back into the mid 270s to mid 280s, then closing today below 330.01 is your sigh of relief, because then it is likely, I think, over the next 2 to 3 weeks, we could fall into this area where we could bottom out into possibly through January and then rally back into the upper 330s within 2 to 3 to 5 weeks of doing so. So unfortunately, it is wait and see. But when it comes to long-term buy signals that play out for weeks and months to follow, it really is a waiting game, requires patience on an intra-week basis. But I've given you the parameters I think that are, they should be relatively accurate in terms of giving you an early lead on a buy signal above 337.37. Once again, a settlement today above 350.00. And if you're short now and biting your fingernails, so to speak, closing today below 330.01 should give you this sort of a more relaxed demeanor. And we can then anticipate 276.07 to 285.29 over the next few weeks, 3 to 5 weeks. I think that pretty much rounds it out. I'm going to leave it at that for Thursday's Daily Tesla Report. I will be back tomorrow with Fridays, and you have a great evening.